Good day, mate. Good day. Greetings, Earthlings. That's what my best friend always says when I sing Greetings, Earthlings. How are the Earthlings doing today? Are you being normal? Are you awake? Are you ready to go boating? All Earthlings are ready to go boating. I guess we all like to go boating because when we's in the womb, it's all water and you're floating around like. So today I want to talk about the stikine. I had a conversation with Superman. I'll let y'all figure out who Superman is, and uh, and then two other characters of the Marvel group who are awesomeness in their boating skills. They're like, "We're gonna go R2 the stikine in a round boat," and I'm like, "Wow." At first, I was like, "You can't do that. You can't do that. I'm a raft guy. You can't do that." Then I thought about it. You could. Um, I don't know if I'd recommend a true round boat at the start. Maybe they don't want to go in a creature craft. And I'm like, sometimes you start with bigger boats and then we got the smaller boats. That's how we got to where we were. There's a reason why you run stuff in a creek boat and not a play boat. Statistics will show that you have a better chance in a creek boat as far as kayaking goes than a play boat. So that's why you use a creek boat, because it has higher volume and it's made for that. I think boats are designed for specific volumes, just like a squirt boat. It's a low volume boat, so it goes down. It takes you under the water, right? That's what its design and purpose is. A creek boat has a lot of volume, and that acts as buoyancy. Just like a life jacket has a certain amount of buoyancy. Most, I think, baseline jackets are either 15 or 17 pounds of buoyancy. If you're a bigger boy and you're in bigger water, usually you go to 22 or 24 pounds of buoyancy in a life jacket. On what you call it, they go on cataract, they go up to double jackets with clients. They double jacket. Yeah, I said that right. They double jacket. So that gives you, like, if it's 24-pound jacket because it has the flap in the back and they put two of those on you, that's 48 pounds, almost 50 pounds of buoyancy on, say, a 150-pound person. That's a third of their weight. So they're going to come back up. And it also has the thigh straps because that's how gnarly it gets. And so with the stikine, it's in the top 5. You can look it up online. There's a few different places. I think Kayak Magazine does a couple articles on what's the hardest or best top 5 rivers in the world, and the stikine's on that list. And there's a reason it's on that list. I have the topo here somewhere, but it's 40 or 42 miles. So in my opinion, that's like 3, if not, I think that's 4 tumwaters. 4. So you got to run 4 tumwaters like back to back to back to back. And if you do it in one overnight, that means you're running 2 tumwaters a day, 2 days in a row. So, and not in the best conditions either. You're not roadside. It's not sunny out. Usually it's like gloomy and rainy. So the thought of, can you run the stikine in a round boat R2ing? I think you could, but it comes back to how people have pushed the limits as it has gotten to today, is with knowledge and with better technology and better boats. And I don't think a kayaker is going to save you because of how fast moving it is. And then you're going to put the kayaker at risk. I honestly think if you wanted to do something like that, you'd want 2 creature crafts, and not just regular creature crafts. They'd have to have motors because they could get to you the fastest than anyone else. You'd want one probably in front of you and one behind you, like probably, I don't know, a minute or two ahead, like probably 30 seconds to a minute ahead, and probably like 30 seconds to a minute behind. So within a minute or 3, you'd be gotten to. And then once you're gotten to, if you kayaker got to, there's like no eddies in there to get you out. So like if you were gotten to by a creature craft, you could get in and ride cowboy and then, boat to an eddy or whatever. So could you do it in a round boat R2? My answer is yes, but that's how I would do it. Because there's too many undercut walls. It's nonstop. It's one long rapid. That's what people don't get. Like, it's not the North Fork. Like, yeah, the North Fork is the training ground, but then put that on steroids and bigger. Like, they only give you 1,700 CFS, and that thing runs like 8,000 or 11,000 up there. So you're running like pretty much 10 times the amount of water down the same chute. So, which is insane. I mean, they turned the spigot up to 4,400 at the North Fork of the Payette. North Fork Championships, yeah, they turn it up to 4,400. They only double the amount that you normally kind of get. So not double, it would be 10 times the amount running like Jacob's Ladder, which would just be huge. It'd be awesome. Actually, it'd be a big it'd be a waterfall. If it was like 10,000 CFS in the north, well, first off, it'd probably be over the banks. It'd probably be over the road. That'd make it even cooler. Could you imagine the North Fork over the road? That'd be nuts. And it would still create stuff because there's structure in there. Maybe it floods out, maybe it levels out. I know sometimes once you get so high in high water, like like you have the upper of the lower salmon, how we describe river sections, which is the the upper of the middle fork of the west fork of the north fork of the Willamette. And I'm like, what? Who the what? What fentanyl? What fentanyl boater am I talking to? So anyway, yeah, I agree that you could possibly run the Stikine in a round boat. Now, mind you, it's been done with creature crafts, and I know Rocky has the all rights, and I know he's taken a 16-foot raft with all rights, and now he's integrated a frame for his all rights because there was no structure to them. They collapsed too easy, so they're tied to a frame. The inflation is, which the whole point of it is so you can re-roll a boat fairly quick without no issues, so it doesn't truly go. So with the structure that he has now, it only goes to 90 degrees. The boat will. It'll never go probably past 90. I'm sure they can attest to that. But yeah, you won't go past 90 degrees. So, yeah. So again, this is Crazy Bill. Can you do this to Keenan around boat? R2ing? If you want, you can do anything you want. As they say, you can do anything you put your mind to. And part of that mind is the knowledge that you're going to need. But remember, it's all class 2 plop and drop, even in the Stikine.